On any given night in the Denver metro area, there are more than 5,000 people seeking shelter services. Denver Rescue Mission been providing those services for 130 years. Joining me now to talk is President and CEO Brad Miley. Brad, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Dominic, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Let's just kind of start broadly. Give us kind of the state of homelessness here in Denver.
Well, we are helping all kinds of men, women, and children. And I would say that we continue to see more people than we have seen before. I think that COVID has probably exacerbated some of the issues. As an example of that, the Metro Denver Homeless Initiative did a survey working with shelters, and they compared February 2021 to February 2020, and we discovered that there's about twice the number, a little over twice the number of people that have been first-time homeless in our shelters. It went from about 1,273 people to over 2,500 people. And so I think this is a real indication that, COVID has had a big impact, and we continue to see a lot of people that need help and are coming to our shelters.
So COVID not only bringing people to the shelters, how is it impacting your shelters when you talk about placing people, social distancing, all that sort of thing?
Sure. Well, we've had to go to 24/7 shelter, and we're no longer do we really have bunk beds. We do have bunk beds in one of our facilities, just an overnight facility, but across the gamut, really, whether it's Catholic Charities or Salvation Army or Denver Rescue Mission, we've gone to 24/7 shelter, having a bed with a chair and plenty of social distancing. And so that has frankly been a real big change. And it's been a good thing. When you're at 24/7 shelter, folks know that they're going to have a place to stay. They're getting 3 meals a day to eat at the Denver Rescue Mission, and they're much more willing to talk to our case managers and think about the ways that they may be able to get out of shelter and into a place where they can stay, into permanent housing.
Can you talk a little bit more about the needs of the homeless population, especially as we head towards, these really cold, more snowy months here in Denver?
Sure. Well, today is a cold day, and folks are much more willing to come into our facilities when it gets a little colder. But the needs of the people on the street are great. Some of them are addiction related. Some of them are mental health related. And some of them, as we just talked about, are people that are newly homeless, that have not been able to pay their rent or, their mortgage, and maybe lost their automobile, something like that, and that's not a place for them to be able to stay, and so they're coming inside to our facilities. And what we try to do at the Denver Rescue Mission is, in our intake process, is meet with people and try to figure out the quickest and best way that folks can be able to get into some kind of housing and to find their way out of homelessness. Now, getting out of homelessness is not an easy thing, and it usually takes between a year to 2 years, actually, to be able to help people to be able to find a place to live. And so it's a struggle.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, especially this time of year, ask, hey, what can I do to help? A lot of people have stepped up, but then there's a lot of people, it's an issue that's kind of out of sight, out of mind. So why should people really rally around this issue for anyone who sees this interview?
Well, it certainly is a big issue. As you drive around town, you're going to see more tents than you've ever seen before. And so learning about this issue and the challenges that people face is really a good thing. That's a good first start. We could definitely use volunteers. We're down in the number of volunteers that we've had, and we need those to feed the some 800,000 meals that we will feed this next year. And providing 300,000 nights of shelter. And so we always appreciate donations. This is hard work, but it's work that is encouraging, and we have the opportunity to really make a difference in people's lives.
Brad, let me ask you this. What services does the Denver Rescue Mission provide people who are unsheltered that we might not have touched on?
Yeah, well, first of all, you can come into our Lawrence Street Community Center. Anyone can come in there, and it's really about human dignity there. It's a day center. It's a place where people can get something to eat. They can take a shower. They can connect with a case manager to try to figure out, what they might need. So as an example of that, we had a gentleman come in who was deaf, and we were able to work with him. It took us about 7 months, but we were able to get him some hearing aids. And he said to us, "This is the first time I've been able to hear in 25 years." And this was really his struggle. And now that he's able to hear again, we're very hopeful that we're going to be able to get him into housing and perhaps back into the workforce as well. But coming in there and trying to into our Lawrence Street Community Center, trying to help people. We certainly do the shelter, which we've talked about. We have a New Life rehabilitation program for people that struggle with drugs and alcohol addiction. These are all things that we do. And what we really try to do is, does someone need to be maybe in our men's working shelter, or maybe they need 24/7 shelter, or maybe we can just connect them to the VA and we can get them into VA housing, or maybe they need to work with South Street Medical Clinic because there's some mental health issues there. What are the kind of things? Or maybe they just need a hearing aid. And that's going to help them to, move in that way. So, we're seeing a lot of people. We had 5,000 people come through our Lawrence Street Community Center last year. And, there's a lot of folks out there that need the help of this community. And we're very proud that we get to bless people and help people because this is such a great community we live in.
Real quick, I want to ask you just one last question. You mentioned it's been a stressful year, kind of low on volunteers, but I know you guys keep pushing on. I mean, what keeps you guys going? How are the volunteers holding up? And I got to imagine stories like that gentleman with the hearing aids really helps you keep going.
It is. You just need one person to see their lives change. We had 61 men that we were able to get out of the shelter and put into housing in the last 6 months. We had 82 men last year graduate from our New Life rehabilitation program with their lives changed and as free from drugs and alcohol as you can be, and having a place to live. And these are the kind of things that really keep us going and encourage us. I could tell you story after story of people's lives changed, and it's because of wonderful volunteers and the great staff that we have at the Denver Rescue Mission that say, hey, people shouldn't freeze to death. People should not go hungry in this community. And what can we do to try to help them become productive, self-sufficient citizens once again in this great community we live in?
And Brad, give our best to everyone there. You guys are doing a heck of a service for the city, so we really appreciate your time today. Thanks so much.
No, thank you. God bless you.
All right, take care. And you can help the Denver Rescue Mission do its important work by making a donation to our Spread the Warmth campaign. We got all the details about that campaign and links to donate at cbsdenver.com.